The title of this thing that I'm going to talk to you about and discuss with you, I hope it's timely, considering that pretty soon we're going to have something happening in this town. It's something that nobody knows what the hell it's all about. Because ever since the legislators resigned and then decided and run for election, there's been a lot of argument about what is it that's coming up this coming Sunday? Is it a by-election, as the basic law requires whenever you have a vacated legislative seat? Or is it a referendum? Or, according to some people, maybe it's just even an uprising. And does it really matter what it is called? It matters because effective communication demands at least a mutual understanding of messages being sent or received, whether these messages be verbal, which means word, or non-verbal, images. When there's no agreement on what those messages mean, misunderstanding or something worse is inevitable. That is why exactitude is a given in communication, whether of a political or another nature. However, exactitude is exactly what one would not find in politics. Instead, obfuscation is prerequisite in the fine art of political persuasion. In politics, fussiness is the rule, while clarity is the exception. Fussiness also provides the speaker with all-important deniability, which may well come in handy should something untoward happens later. This is precisely the situation in which Hong Kong finds itself in the current imbroglio on political reform. The SAR administration, the political parties, academics, and news media are all talking over each other's head. And nobody but nobody seems to want to understand or compromise, much less reach a consensus. Didn't anybody tell them that politics, besides being the art of the possible, is also the art of compromise? Come this Sunday, hundreds of thousands of electors will cast their votes, or not, for candidates to fill the 5 legislative seats vacated by the 3 League of Social Democrats and 2 Civic Party legislators who resigned a couple months ago. Even before they resigned, the word being tossed around in print and on air was, quote, total resignation, end quote, 总辞. Now, one might be forgiven to think that the entire 60 members of the council, or at least all 23 pan-Democrats, were to resign. In fact, there was no such thing and no such intention. Only 5 persons quit. That is, slightly more than 20% of the so-called Democrats and less than 8% of the legislators. So what part of total they or the news media didn't understand?